Hey everybody, what's going on? Joe Kalis here from joekalis.com, providing impactful perspective, and just coming to you today with a tutorial on how to set up a blog site. I've recently gotten joekalis.com up and running and tweaked how I like it, got a lot of followers coming on, and people giving me a lot of good feedback and actually asking how to set up a blog site. So I've been walking through with a few people and walking them through the process. It's pretty simple, but just thought I'd film a video to allow other people to do it, people that I don't know, maybe put on YouTube and be able to be helpful for other people. So I just want to go through this real quick. It shouldn't take long, and along the way I'll give some background and stuff, but had one of my friends who I'm helping actually ask me, what's the difference between a blog and a website? And for me, that's just kind of second nature, but I didn't think that most people would probably wonder that. For me, in mid-90s, I started doing HTML and coding websites by hand, and it was pretty cool. In 1995, I think I started, and blog sites weren't available at that point. I just did some research, and Blogger was one of the most popular ones that just came out, and it was 1999 that launched. So basically, a blog site is a templated site that you don't have to code. So basically, you choose how it looks, and there's a section where you can actually input your posts, and there's an editor available, so you set it up once, and you don't have to do any of the coding. You don't have to change it. You can tweak it and make it look however you want, and that's pretty cool. It's very flexible, but you don't have to know HTML or CSS or JavaScript or any of that sort of thing. There's no coding required. With websites, you have to know how to develop a website or use a program to do it. So blogging is really a flexible way for the average person to get their voice heard, just to have a hobby site or a business that runs on a blog site, and it's pretty cool. So Blogger was the first one that I knew about, but WordPress is obviously one of the most popular ones. There's also another one, TypePad, and I just found out they all actually launched in about 2003. So websites were the big deal, and they still are, but a lot of websites now are run on the back end of a blog, and just because it's an easy framework to maintain and personalize. So with that, I'm going to get into it. My preferred host is WordPress for sure, and with WordPress there's two different versions. There's a version that you can put up very easily that's hosted by them, a little less flexibility. I'm going to be talking about the other version today, a self-hosted blog, and if you're doing this for a business purpose or you want to monetize at any point in time, you're definitely going to want to do a self-hosted version. There's plugins available that you can't do with the WordPress version. There are more themes available. There's just a lot more flexibility, a lot more that you can do with a self-hosted version. So that's what I'm going to be going through. It needs to be hosted, so you need a hosting account, and there's a few of those hosting accounts. I use a company called Host Gator, and that's what I'm going to be running through today, just showing you how to do it. It's maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the very max, and run through it here just to show you guys how to get a hosting account, which does cost a little bit of money. I'll show you when we go through with HostGator what it costs. The yearly expense, you can pay monthly if you want, but to get a domain name, you have to pay for that and the hosting. But other than that, that's your only expense. So maybe $100 a year, and you're good to go with the website with a personally branded name for you, and you can just let your voice be heard in whichever way you want. So I'm going to run through this right here. If you see my browser here. So basically, I get a discount that I get to offer to my customers. So if you go to joekalis.com/HostGator, they've actually given me a discount code. So 20% discount is applied to your purchase. That's the first purchase. So if you purchase it for a year, you get 20% off of that. If you purchase it monthly, you only get 20% off that first month. So you want to click here, View Web Hosting Plans. And when you get here, you'll see a variety of options. Just to explain real quick, a hatchling plan, baby plan, and business plan. Hatchling is if you're going to have one website, one domain. So if it's yourname.com, I have joekalis.com. So if that was all I was ever going to do, that would be totally fine. You can do that. I also have other websites available. So I have the baby plan, which gives you unlimited domains. They both give you unlimited space, so that's not a deal. But if you have more than one domain, now, or you will in the future, I would definitely suggest doing the baby plan. It's still affordable, $6.36 a month for a 3-year plan, or $8 a month for a 1-year plan or monthly. Not a huge expense. Like I said, it comes out to about $108 to get a domain name and a year's worth of hosting, and then that's ongoing. But pretty affordable for most people. If you don't have $100, you definitely need to start a blog site and start making some money, but it's a very good investment to do that. A business plan is not really necessary for most people. If you're watching this video, you don't need a business plan, because if you don't know how to set up a WordPress site, you definitely don't need a business plan. It gives you a share or a private IP and a toll-free number, stuff that you don't really need right now. Along the way you may, but we're going to talk about this. So I'm going to go through and do a baby plan. Pretty simple concept. I'm just going to do, for sake of demonstration here, I'm just going to do a monthly plan. However, I would suggest you go for at least a year. Commit to yourself that you're actually going to do some blogging, post a bunch of content, and be consistent for at least a year. See how it goes, see how you like it. Just getting your voice heard, getting the feel for it, and then you can renew at that point. But I would definitely suggest 1 year. If you have the budget for it, do 3 years. Get the discount. You get $1.60 off per month, and you have to pay up front. So that's the only thing if you don't have that money for that expense. But at least do a year. I'm going to do a month for demonstration purposes, but that's my recommendation. So hit the Order Now button, and this is where you get to choose your domain name. So hopefully before you watch this video, you actually had a domain name in mind, whether it's your name or your business name or something else. It could be anything. It could be ilovedogs.com. That's probably taken, but whatever it is. If you don't have a domain name, just pause this video and think about it. Come back to the video. But if you do, this is where you put it. And for demo purposes, I'm just going to put in I love blog sites. So as you type, it'll tell you if the name is available. So iloveblog.com is not available. So I'm going to keep typing, and iloveblogsites.com. It is available. So congratulations, it's been added to your cart. So the domain is $13, and then the hosting on top of that. So if you come down here, some people recommend that you buy all what they call top-level domains. That's .net, .org, .info, .biz. It's up to you. If this is a legitimate business and you're going to be doing a lot of posting and you want to make a lot of money with your website, I would definitely suggest doing that so nobody steals your idea and puts it on the same website with a different domain. Not that it would happen, but there's a possibility of it. So your choice whether you want to do that. Just confirm here that this is the baby package type, and I chose 1 month. You probably chose 1 year. Come up with a username, and this is something that'll be emailed to you, but that you'll have to remember to log into your blog site. So I'll put Blogger Joe as my username. Oh, that's too long. It's got to be 2 to 8 characters, so let's just do Blog Joe. Security pin 4 characters. I'm actually going to black all this out most likely in the video. It's kind of confidential information, so fill in your billing information. I have an autofiller program, so go. Oh, it changed my username. I don't want that, so Blog Joe. That's because I autofilled it, but so fill out all the information, and the stuff below it, the hosting add-ons, this is stuff that you're going to want to unclick. You don't need any of this stuff, the domain privacy, the site lock, unless you really want it, but I would definitely uncheck them. They're checked by default, so make sure you uncheck all these options. You don't want to have extra expense with things that you don't need. Get a jump start on your website. That's what I'm doing with you right now, so you don't need that. There's a discount code. There you go. That's what I was talking about, the 20% off, so just leave that. And then just review the charges here. So you get online or 24/7 support from Host Gator, which is incredible. They are awesome. And once you set up an account, there's an account manager that gets assigned to you, so that's pretty cool. Money back guarantee after 45 days if you don't want to do it anymore. Hosting package is $9.95 minus the discount plus your domain. So make sure that's all correct. Agree to the terms and conditions and create an account just like anything else. So pretty easy. I would verify all your information is correct. Yep, there we go. And create account. We'll churn a little bit and come back. Thank you. An email will be sent shortly. So there you go. You set up a hosting account with Host Gator. Pretty simple. You have unlimited space. You have your domain name. You have the ability to add more domains in the future. And that was it. That was setting up a hosting account. Now, the next step of setting up a blog site is actually going into the back end of your hosting account, and there's a quick install feature that you can do with 1 click. You can install, well, maybe 3 clicks. I'll get to that in just a second. But you can install an instance of WordPress right on your website, and then there's a way to log in there, set it up a little bit, and then you're off to the races with posting your content, and you are then a blogger. And I think WordPress right now has 66 million subscribers, so tons of blogs out there. Lots of big companies are using it. It's a cool thing. So you're going to get an email sent to whatever email you set up, and if you want to check on that, I would definitely go to your email right now and get your password. So I'm going to do that as well. Okay, so when you get your confirmation email, it'll look something like this. And my name is not Jim Wagner, but this is my demo account basically. So because I have this account set up with Joe Kalis already, but for demo purposes, here you go. So yours is going to say, hey, your name, and then have all these logins. So I would suggest bookmarking both of these links. There's a billing link and a control panel link. These are both important, but very different. So I would open them both and bookmark them in whatever way you do. So for this purpose, we're going to go into the control panel. So if you click on that, it'll open up cPanel. And cPanel is a back-end tool that allows you to get into your admin account. So most hosting companies use cPanel. It's one of the more popular ones, and it gives you all kinds of functionality. I'm going to show you in a second. So username and password. Your username you set up. Mine was Blog Joe, and then there's a temporary password you want to copy here. So just copy the temp password, and remember your username, Blog Joe, and paste in your password, and voila, you are in the back end in your cPanel for your hosting account. Now, there's a bunch of buttons in here. There's a ton of buttons, a lot of stuff to look at. Don't worry about it. There's probably 3 or 4 links in here that are actually meaningful to you, and I'll go through those along the way. But so you'll see dozens of buttons here. Don't worry about it. Don't be freaked out. The one we're looking for is called account or add-on domains. So right here under domains, and you can actually drag these around if you want, so you can move one up if it's meaningful to you, so that you see it right when you come in. Pretty cool, drag and drop feature. So you want to click on add-on domains. And your new domain name is the one that you just created, so whatever it is, .com. So I did I love blogsites.com. Right? So it gives me a check mark that matches what I set up here. This is domain name, I love blogsites.com, so that's correct. Once you do that and click off, it'll auto-populate all these fields. Don't change these, except for in the domain or document root, just remove the .com from there. That's not really necessary. So this is setting up a folder on your hosting account called I Love Blog Sites, where all of your files will be placed for your blog. It doesn't really make sense to you right now, but it will in a minute. So choose a password, whatever you want. I actually have a password program, so if I do a password generator, it doesn't really matter. It'll save it for me. So I've copied that, use this password, good job, and you click on add domain. So put in your domain, it'll auto-populate the stuff, take off the .com, put in a password, confirm it, and then hit add domain. It'll do a little bit of work, and not park your domain. So the reason it says that is because when you register a domain, it actually has to go through a protocol on the internet. Basically, it has to be registered with the global internet. There's an organization that monitors everything. And if you were to go to your domain, so if you just type in the browser your domain name that you created, iloveblogsites.com, you'll see that it says it could not find it. That's because it takes maybe up to 24 hours for it to propagate through the internet organization that has to approve it or whatever, get all the settings set up so that you're found on the internet and all that stuff. So right off the bat, when you come into your back end, you might not be able to add on a domain. Now, it happens quicker sometimes depending on the queue of domains being added to the internet, which is a ton at any time, but I would just wait 24 hours and then come back to it and open up your email again, log into your control panel, and come back here, and I will pick up the video from there once I actually am able to do that. So I'll be back. All right, so we're back. It's been a few hours, and a while ago we actually registered the domain iloveblogsites.com, and like I mentioned before, it takes a few hours, maybe 10 or 12 hours. I think it took half a day to get this up and running, but when you go to your website, the domain that you registered, I Love Blog Sites, it'll show this little splash page for Host Gator. So it'll show a broken page otherwise if the domain is not ready. So we know it's ready, and we want to log in. So I was just checking sporadically throughout the day, and I noticed it was ready. So, and your email, the confirmation email you got, obviously you have your control panel link again, which you may have bookmarked. So just click on that and pull up the control panel and copy the password. So it's login of Blog Joe. This is the password. So Blog Joe password and log into cPanel. Now that we have a domain registered, it will actually show up. If you scroll all the way down here, you'll see it in your website traffic. Once you have people coming to the website, it'll actually track some analytics for you just by default, and iloveblogsites.com is right here. So what we want to do right now is install a instance of WordPress, and that was the goal of the whole thing. To get a blog site, we need WordPress. So something we're going to look for is quick install. So you can either Control F or Command F on a Mac and find quick install. That's the quickest way to do it. So there it is under software and services. I would just click on this little time clock here, quick install. There's a variety of options on the left here. WordPress is under blog software. That's the one we want, so you just click on that. WordPress is a web software used to create a beautiful website or blog. Great. So we want to install this, so we continue. And basically, when your domain shows up here, you want it to be installed in the root directory. So you don't want to put anything here. If you want your blog site to be at an address like domain.com/blog, this is where you would put blog in here. But I want it just to be, when you go to iloveblogsites.com, much like I have my domain joekalis.com, it goes straight there. So I'm not going to put anything in the directory here. You can if you want, and go from there. So you want to put in your admin email here, and your blog title is I Love Blog Site. Not your blog title, put in whatever you want. Admin user, I'm going to do Jim. I'm Jim Wagner here. This demo account. So Jim Wagner, I Love Blog Sites. My email. It's going in the root directory. Hit install now. One click, and you get a blog site from WordPress installed in your root directory, so that when you go to iloveblogsites.com, it will show up. Very cool. Installation is ready. So what shows you here is another link that you're going to need to bookmark. It's iloveblogsites.com/wpadmin, and this is the back-end administration panel that you need to log into to get to your blog. So I would bookmark it, open it up, add it to your bookmarks, and it will ask for your username, which you just set up of Jim, plus this temporary password, and my password. And voila, we are in the back end of WordPress. Very cool. So when you go to iloveblogsites.com, there you go. On-site refresh is your blog site, just another WordPress site. This is the very generic templated site that they throw up for you, and it's pretty basic. There's a lot of functionality you can do in here. There's a lot of plugins you can install. When you go to Appearance, you can change your theme, and there's a ton of customization. I'm actually going to do a different video, separate one, just to let you take a breather on this one. I know it's quite a journey, about 20 minutes, just going through some background info and technical information on how to get this set up. So a little bit of a process, but it's a one-time thing. Now you're ready to roll. You can customize it to how you want it to look. But then once that's done, so between this video and the next one in the series, you're going to have a blog site up and running, and then from then on, all you have to do is add content, something that is very fun and invigorating for most people, just adding the content, delivering the message, getting the business, whatever you want to do with your blog site, personal hobby site, etc. So congratulations. If you've gone through all that, you have a domain personalized to you and hosting a WordPress blog site. So stay tuned to my next video for more customization options, making it look nicer and all that kind of thing. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment in the comments of this or find me on Facebook and leave a message. So thanks so much.